Shadow Legends with another champion guide on the way. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. Today we have a guide on Yncensa Grail-Bearer. Sorry, it's a mouthful. Yncensa, we'll call her from here on out. But first, some shout-outs to you guys. Keeping the champion guide requests coming in the comments below. We have Fair Rocks do a guide on Yncensa. No, please? We have Josiah. Hi. Hey, Ash, how's your day? It's pretty good. Thanks for asking. Yncensa in Brackus the Shifter. We've done Brackus already here on the channel. We have Happy Tremerinik. I'm just as bad of champion names as I have of your names. Looking for a Yncensa. He just pulled her out of Progressive Chance. We have Nor the Gamer, Yncensa. We have Josiah again, or Jose maybe again. Either way, a lot of requests coming in for Yncensa. Let's go ahead and take a look at the champion. All right, guys. So just apropos of absolutely nothing, just a stupid pay-to-win humble brag for you guys. But I just got my best score so far on Nightmare Chimera at 326. Ultra Nightmare 168 with the same kind of ally attack, Mikage buff extension team. Anyway, little pat on the back. No big deal. We're going to go to the index here. We're going to go to Sylvan Watchers. She is a Void Affinity champion. She looks really good. Really fits the Sylvan Watchers vibe here. She's got like a kind of a half-broken cape and yeah, kind of a staff type thing going on with the antler horns, kind of matching Alleel's antler horns. However, she's a lot better than Alleel, I would say, even though Alleel's kind of an interesting champion in his own right. Her base speed is really good. It sticks out at me at 110. Anything above 110 or 110 and higher is elite status. And she's got probably one of the most unique hits, maybe not the best in the game or anything like that, but one of the most unique in the game. You can't argue that, and here's why. Well, let's start with the A1. She has an AoE on the A1. Really unique for this type of champion to have an AoE on the A1 with a decreased attack. This is 70%, 75% with the Sniper Mastery of a decreased attack. But I love this second part of it. The ally with the highest crit damage also joins the attack against the enemy with the lowest HP. The ally will use their default skill. So a little mini ally attack. But you know what? In a lot of situations, the most important ally attack or the ally to join the attack is going to be your DPS, the highest crit damage on the team. So that's really good in areas like Hydra or even Chimera. This can really stack up your damage over these longer battles, right? On the A2, the only champion in the game at the time of this recording, early in 2025, that has the Poison Cloud buff. The Poison Cloud buff, so what the heck does it even do? Same thing as on Hydra. The Poison Cloud is going to come in there and allow whoever has it to enemies can only land weak hits on them, and they can't be poisoned. However, this can be mitigated by being under HP burn. It will negate the effects of the Poison Cloud. So very strong. We'll show it off in the arena just to show you that it works and how it works. Like, as long as there won't be get debuffs because there's only going to be weak hits, right? Only champions that can land debuffs against Poison Cloud weak hits or the HP burn is going to be able to negate it. Also, increased speed and a continuous heal on the ally for 2 turns. Fills the target's turn meter by 50%. Now, this could be one of the best opening moves in the arena in the entire game if it had an increased attack. Kind of like a Shuzen with an instant turn ability, because the 50% turn meter may as well be an instant turn on an arena team, on a go first arena team, right? But either way, a very, very, very unique ability here that I think a lot of people probably don't appreciate right away when they take a look at her kit, because it's a single target and, you know, whatever. So good support, good turn meter fill, just a great ability. The Malignant Growth, her A3 ability, 3-turn cooldown. It's an AoE, decreased defense, and weaken. Ignores block debuffs buffs. It's a nice little addition as well, right? Whether you got like a Mischief Steel going on the Hydra heads or in the arena, really nice to go right into that Sifi, right into that Duchess, and not even have to worry about the block debuffs. Obviously, still need accuracy to land it, but negating block debuffs, I don't know, it's kind of a slippery slope type thing. I mean, I'm not complaining, it's awesome on Yncensa, but it's weird to have so many abilities in the game over time that ignore a buff or a debuff. You know, it kind of, especially for newer players, can be hard to keep track of. Anyway, Yncensa, her passive, increases champion's accuracy by 10 for each buff on each enemy. Pretty cool. Whenever an enemy receives a buff, their turn meters decrease by 10%. So that's insane as well. You know, there's no cooldown on that. And I feel like this is the last part of her kit, this last sentence here, that really makes her a very interesting arena champion. Whenever an enemy receives a buff, their turn meter is decreased by 10%. That requires accuracy, but man, it's a really strong, sneaky control. When you put it all together, you've got a really good champion. Increase accuracy in all battles by 70. Man, she's nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've used her a lot, and before prepping for today's guide, I forgot that she had that second line of the passive. Really strong, really cool. You can use her almost everywhere and anywhere. Listen, a lot of players out there, you may or may not have her yet, but eventually you'll get Lydia. Lydia is a void affinity, AoE, decreased defense, and weakened champion. I feel like she's a bit better than Yncensa. They're very hard to compare the two. But the fact that she brings the increased speed on an AoE and the strengthen. But the fact of the matter is, especially in Hydra areas like that, we only have one Lydia. We need other debuffers on our accounts, right? And there's only other two void affinity debuffers that have decreased defense and weaken on a 3-turn cooldown on an AoE. So she joins the ranks. So there's only 4 of them in the game. There's Lydia, there's Venus, there's Yncensa, and there's Bellinor. And that's it. You know, so a very unique skill set, even to have both of those abilities on a 3-turn. Really sought after, can help you out as your main debuffer basically anywhere in the game. She's one of the more versatile champions out there. Today, I'm going to show you a few of my favorite builds on her. We're just going to use one build, but I'll talk about the rest. So make sure you stay tuned, at least in this part of the video where we talk about the different ways to build her, right? I'm going to start with my favorite for Hydra Clan Boss. I love her in Relentless, right? Taking extra turns are great. And one of the main reasons I have her in Relentless is I really want to get that uptime of the A3, of those debuffs, decreased defense and weaken. I want her doing it a lot, right? So I want her fast and I want her taking extra turns. It's so important because in a Hydra, it's so easy to expose the next, kill the Hydra heads, whatever we call it nowadays. It's so easy to do that pretty quickly, depending on your difficulty and your team and your DPS, right? And oftentimes I find myself in situations where, you know, maybe 1 or 2 Hydra heads has decreased defense and weaken, and then the other 2 don't. So getting back to this ability faster is always going to be great in my book. Also, even when she just uses her A1 ability in Hydra Clan Boss, you're going to get an ally attack with the best nuker that you have on your team, right? Even when you use this ability in the arena, you're going to target the squishiest champion with your nuker every time, even on her A1. So even in the A1 of her kit, you can get extreme value here. It's really cool. You can use her in the arena and run a very slow nuker. And you can start out with a 50% turn meter boost. Again, similar to a Shu Zhen on her A2 ability, Purging Petals. So there's a lot of options there. Anyway, a really cool synergy on her kit. I like Relentless. It's nice for Hydra for the reasons I just spoke about, right? I've seen people even build her as a damage dealer. This is the crazy thing about this champion. She has an AoE damage based on attack. She has another AoE attack on her debuffs, damage based on attack. And her base attack is 1200. She can actually deal some sneaky damage. Let's take a quick look at her multipliers here. By the way, hellhades.com, I wonder who does these ratings nowadays. I believe it's Nubraids, and I'm having a little bit of a freak out here. I believe Nubraids does the rankings. It could be SAF, could be YST, I'm not sure. But they give her a 4.5 out of 5, and I would actually agree with that ranking. Area rankings, you can see all the yellow on the screen, right? I mean, can use her almost everywhere as your debuffer, support, damage. You know, she's great. A lot of versatility in what she can bring to the table. She has a 3 multiplier on her AoE on the A1 and a 4.5 on the A3. So I've even seen players out there build her for damage, you know? She's got 2 AoEs. She's got a decent base attack considering her kit. You can expect, you know, maybe not Venus-like damage because Venus brings the burn and the poison, but not that far off, you know, when built that way. It's up to you to min-max your team and min-max your damage once, most importantly, you're ensuring that she's landing all her debuffs and she's staying alive, right? So we have her kind of in a blended build today. What are my other favorite builds for this champion? Well, you guys can probably guess them. Depending on the team that you're using, I would love her in a cursed set. Building her in a cursed set is going to allow her to apply those hexes not only on her A3, but also her A1. She's a great option for a Hex champion if you don't already have a Hex champion on your team, wherever you are, specifically in Hydra Clan Boss. So I love her in Cursed. I love her in simply I'm trying to think of other builds, a stun set. Want to use her for wave content. Throw her in the stun set. Still make her fast, still give her accuracy. Stun set's going to be great in 2 areas. One, any wave content in the entire game. She'll be your debuffer, and she'll also be dropping down stuns on her A1 or A3. It's going to be great control for your team too. You can even go Fearsome Presence if you wanted to and really double down on that control, right? In the arena, she's nasty in a stun set. A stun set Yncensa Grail-Bearer, right? If you can get stun and stone skin on her in the arena, don't sleep on that combo. She's not an endgame arena meta champion, partially because she's so susceptible to polymorph. But that brings me to my 4th build recommendation. You could run her in a feral set, a 6-piece feral set, right? Build her nice and fast. That way you can mitigate the sheep, the polymorph, and have the block debuffs on her as well, so you can mitigate control. So there's so many different ways you can build this champion. It speaks to her versatility that she can lend to all of your teams. So the total stats that we have in today's video are going to be some survivability, some attack. I'm getting like a little bit of everything that I want here. 289. Ideally, we'd like her even faster, you know? Like, no, faster the better. Accuracy 513. She's going to be great everywhere in the game except for the arena. And even in the arena, outside of high gold 5 platinum or gold 4 in live arena, she'll be fine there too. Everywhere PvE, she'll be great. She'll be your main debuffer. She'll deal a little bit of damage. She'll land everything. She'll get exponential damage off her A1. The decrease attack is sneaky good on her A1. Man, she's really good. All right, we have accuracy on the banner. We have crit damage on the amulet. We have HP, some survivability on that great feral ring. Feral gear, just even a 1-piece it does great on her, as does pinpoint, right? Speed on the boots. We have attack with accuracy on the chest. We have crit rate on with some defense on the gauntlets. Moreover, that speed roll there. And then again, we're looking for speed. We're looking for accuracy mainly on our substats. We didn't even glyph this out. Let's get a little bit of glyphage going on over here. I'm going to end you guys, by the way, this video running a Hydra run. I'm just going to do it on, yeah, okay, I'll take it. Like, what did that get us? 298? 291. Okay. We'll just run it all full auto and just see how she does with a Trunda team, but a full auto Trunda team, no resets. We'll see what happens. Anyway, our new updated total stats, you guys can see them there. We talked about stun, we talked about feral, we talked about, I don't know, we talked about a lot of builds, right? Relentless is how we're going to rock her today. All right, guys, Masteries really quickly here. This would be my favorite recommendation for you guys. If you did want to like double down on the arena, ignoring the block debuffs, all that stuff, I would run her in Feral and in Eagle Eye. If you wanted to run her in the stun set like we talked about, I'd go Fearsome Presence. If you want to run her for PvE content, I would go War Master. This is kind of a nice Hydra build. I do like Lasting Gifts that get the extension on the A2 buffs. I also like Master Hexer for the extension on the decreased defense in the weekend. I think it's a must-have in our kit. However, you do have a little bit of a choice to make here. You can go Lasting Gifts to get the extension on the single buffs on the A2. It does work with the Poison Cloud as well. You can extend Poison Cloud with buff extenders on the team with her. But you're giving up the Sniper, which is escalating the chances of landing the decreased attack on the A1, so you guys can make that decision for yourselves. All right, guys, in the arena, we're just going to run around and go first team. We're going to run Quintus as our nuker. Figured we never spotlight that guy at all, so it'd be a little bit of a change from the norm. So Arbiter speed boost here. We go in with some stun, some control, and they do have a cleanser with Stone Skin, so that's not going to last for long, but at least they lost their turns. Let's see if we can get rid of her. Nice, Armands, nice. All right, so here we go. Fumes of the Grail, that's the A2, is basically going to get him his turn right away, right? Because he's going to go in there and get that 50% turn meter boost. He might just wipe this team out right here, and he does. So, well, not the best example, but hey, that is an example of how you can speed boost with the A2, right? So let's go in there. And you see how we went with the A1 instead of the A3 in the arena? Why'd we do that? It's kind of like Marichka, right? We run her and she goes in there, and the Quintus, in this case, the highest crit damage, will join in. It's a really nice to go A1 over the A3, even if you think intuitively, no, I want to land the debuffs. But a lot of times in the game right now, at least, you don't need to. You don't need to land the decreased defense and weaken. You think about it in the arena, you think, and again, immediately about that A3, but I think it's more about the A1 and the A2 actually on this champion. All right, so we're going to give it to Quintus. He's going to come in here. Oh, we got an extra turn, Relentless proc. Well, in this situation, I guess I will go with the debuffs. All right, now we'll let Quintus cook. So let's go and take out Morta Macabre. He's annoying. Wow, he's dealing some nice damage, huh, Quintus? I mean, granted, under debuffs. Let's turn meter boost here. Let's start working on on Rotos, excuse me. Let's see. I like how he went for, I wasn't sure if he was going to go for the sheep there or what the situation would be. But man, we are, oh, I guess they just go by the HP, obviously, of the target. That would be obvious there. So again, this situation, look at his turn meter. We can get a 50% boost on that turn meter, or we can just go in with the A1. Let's just go with the A1. He's going to join in, and that's it. Game over, right? You can see that, like, you can really get some utility. I'm trying to pick, like, a kind of a more tanky, annoying team like this. I'll do one more. I could run her in every dungeon for you guys, but I'm not gonna. I'm just going to do this in Hydra. Mainly because I truly think that once you see all this, you'll get it, right? You'll be like, oh, I see. There's a lot of potential here. Now, we don't have it's kind of an interesting situation. I guess I will go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and boost anyway. You can argue that was the wrong move because we have Enfeeble on us. But look at all these extra turns she's getting, guys. It's nasty. It's nasty, all these extra turns. He doesn't have any, like, self-cleanse, right? Removes all buffs. Nah, I just wanted to make sure. So let's just burn that. I never use Quintus. But his damage is actually kind of impressing me right now, you know? Okay. So let's see the situation here. I don't like this Armand's with a full turn meter. Okay. Getting those increased cooldowns with our Armands. Unfortunately, our Arbiter is sheeped momentarily. Uh-oh. All right. I think we're done for, but let's see. Crazier things have not happened. There's no chance I win this. I should just, okay, there we go. End me, Maris, end me. Well, we didn't get a turn there. There's not much you can do when you don't get a turn. Let's go against this squad here. Let's see if we can outspeed Crixia. If not, then, well, we're SOL. All right. Yeah, sure. Okay. Perfect. And then let's go right to the big fella, Quintus. That turn meter boost got him ahead of their lockout, right? And now we can just AoE here. Nice. Okay. Let's just turn meter boost. Try to get Armand's a turn before Crixia. And we don't get it. All right. You see that finally it worked. You see the weak hit on our nuker? That's the magic. She can only weak hit, thus, she can't put his skills on cooldown. Look at that. Goes in on the ally attack, gets rid of Marichka. All while Armand's is stunned. He's sleeping on the job. I mean, this is, I wish we had opened up with this battle because this is showing the beauty of this combo in the arena, right? It's like you can't get rid of my nuker, and he's relentlessly joining in attacks all over the place. We haven't even really needed to highlight the A3, right? I should have A1 there. Again, I made the mistake I told you guys not to make. It's okay because we're going to go before he does anyway. But man, oof, that's a really nasty kit. I could definitely see a day where she's used a little bit more in the arena, especially in feral gear, you know? All right, guys, so here's the team that we're going to rock. We've got Supreme Galek, we've got Grazer Iron Gut, we've got Trunda, Duchess, Yncensa, and Gwendolyn. The only thing I'm very curious on a couple things. I want to see what she does with the Poison Cloud. I put it as the first priority because I noticed when I was testing for this video that if you do not put Poison Cloud on a priority list on the team setup, she does not use it. She won't use it at all. Only A1, only A3, which is interesting. See, check it out. I have it off right now, or I have no presets, I believe, right? So take a look at Yncensa on the far right here. So she's already taken, what, 1 or 2 turns? And you'll notice that Gwendolyn is going in with her instead of Trunda. I have Trunda almost at 400 crit damage. And I have, what's-her-face, Gwendolyn, at like 325 or something like that. But Gwendolyn has a passive that escalates her crit damage based on her accuracy. So I actually have to go in there and change that a little bit, tweak that a little bit. But you'll see Yncensa right now, either way, she's not using her A2. So worth noting, you will not get any of that A2 at all unless you go in there and make it a priority. Now, the other curveball, and what really mitigates her being used on quick battle Hydra teams when that gets released, or auto Hydra teams like this, you can, oh, she put it on herself now. She put it on herself. Well, I ran it for 10 minutes and she didn't use it once in preparation. Now it seems like she's putting it on herself here. So a 50% turn meter fill on herself with a Poison Cloud isn't that bad, you know? I mean, I will still take it. I'll still keep it on. I would not turn it off, right? Now, I want to make sure that I didn't just leave it at first priority here, because when I was testing, yeah, okay. So it's very, if I put it as first choice, look what she does here. She'll put it on, I think, Duchess, first on the team. Yep. So that time she puts it on Duchess. I don't know. I can't really predict who she's going to put it on. You know, if she put it on Duchess all the time, I would say, okay, it just goes in the order of the rotation of the team. But sometimes she puts it on herself. I've seen her put it on, when I prioritize it number 1, she's put it on random champions. It might have to do with their HP, their buffs, I don't know. So it's unpredictable to say the least, or at least I don't know. I haven't cracked the code, which dictates who she puts it on, right? Obviously, if you could choose somehow who to put it on, she'd be great on teams like with a Taurus or a Turvold, basically those champions that do more damage per buff on them, right? Or with that blessing that does that. Speaking of blessings, I don't have her awakened, but I would definitely go with Cruelty, because then you can get that decreased defense all the time. It's very, very strong on Yncensa because of the AoE on the A1. So again, on blessing, I would go Cruelty. Guys, I'm going to let this team run, and we'll see how they do. I'll come back when the battle is over, and we can take a look at the end damage and the rest of the stuff. Be right back. All right, guys, we have 332 million damage. Not too bad for a full auto squad with no resets on Trunda. Obviously, Trunda carrying the brunt of the weight in terms of damage, with Grazer coming behind with Gwendolyn and Supreme Galek, followed by Yncensa. Yncensa. Sorry, I've been butchering her name so badly, and I apologize for those of you who are left watching the video right now. But overall, again, not going to set any records here, especially on hard difficulty. But you can see, hopefully throughout this video, talking about the different versatility that she lends to your teams in terms of the builds that you can explore. We haven't even talked about all the possibilities on this champion, but hopefully I've at least energized you guys, reinvigorated you when it comes to everything that she can bring to your account. Thank you for watching. Keep the champion guide requests coming in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.